everybody, and welcome to our Day 0 and Day 1 coverage of AX 2018. This is our first of many daily recap videos. It's literally almost midnight here in Los Angeles.
Yep.
And we're still on East Coast time, which means it's almost 3 a.m. for us physically, so I hope you're grateful because
Anime Expo, we do it for you, not for
we
us.
We are very grateful to be here to tell you about what we've seen in the past 2 days. Not a whole lot. Anime Expo is kind of saving a lot of its stuff.
I haven't been to a panel yet.
Yeah,
I've done plenty of things, just no panels.
I've only been to 2. There's been a lot of music that's already happened, a lot of other festivities and non-AX related stuff. But why don't we just jump into it and talk about basically what's happened since we've got here. So
basically day -1, whereas last year we were actually able to do stuff. It was nothing. This year we got in pretty early except for Mark. And,
I literally got here at like 10 p.m. local time.
So it was just ticket pickup and palling around pretty much. Day 0 though had the Aqua concert, which I went to, and that was very good. Before I do that, did you do anything on 0?
I did not do anything on Day 0, but pick up my badge, and that's it.
That's it. Nice. Okay.
We went to Little Tokyo, and we had some nice tea.
Yeah, some very sweet tea.
Managed to stave off buying anything until we went to Anime Jungle.
Somehow.
Shout outs to Anime Jungle. Always good. But anyway, y'all aren't here to hear about me spending $150 on Pat Labor figures.
So I had a very long day yesterday. I had Aqua, of course, and then I went to the after party. They call it the Otaquest Peace Party, which I don't get that name, but that's what they named it.
Where was that?
That was at the Novo.
Right.
It was in the VIP lounge.
Was that an official after party, or was that like a related?
No, it's unaffiliated.
Okay.
But a lot of guests showed up.
That's
which
cool.
was pretty neat. But Aqua, so this was the first time Aqua has done what's called a one-man live, where not only are they the headliner, they're the only ones there. It's the first time they've done that in the U.S., and they're actually in the middle of a like 10-city tour in Japan that they took time off of to do this. So everybody assumed that it would just be their set list from that, but we got like a special curated one, which was really cool. They did all the highlights, the like openings, endings, stuff like that. And I'll put the actual set list along with a lot more information on the website. I'll be finishing that.
We'll be doing
soon.
Accompanying day by day and event by event write ups as they happen with us.
Yes.
They'll probably come after the videos get up at some point. So obviously, ohnoanime.moe is the place where all that's going to be. ohnoanime.moe/AX2018 is where that's going to all be.
Yeah. So I'll have a lot more information on that. I'll try to keep it somewhat short. But it's funny when idol groups especially come to the U.S. The popular ones, well, it's not like they feel disingenuous. You always feel like they're just kind of like marking a check off the box, like, cool, we did something over here. And it seemed to me, especially
mostly it seems it's just like they're not really expecting much because idols don't have a huge, you would think, following in the US.
It was that's what everything feels like going into it. We don't really expect them to give it their all, and they really don't. But something very, very special happened this time. Just a quick backstory. One of the things that Love Livers do is something special with the pen lights. That's been a thing since like the 3rd original Love Live thing, which is where you got the bright orange during snow halation. And then Sunshine came out, and on one of their first actual tours during Koini Narita Aquarium, where Yo has her solo, in the music video, she like comes out and there's the aquarium behind, and then it lights up blue. So they have everybody turn off their pen lights, and it starts at the front and it turns blue as a road as she sings. So Japan did that. They went to Korea. Korea says, okay, we're going to do that, but we're going to one-up you. And they had the Happy Party Train, which was, they just did the Canon rail. Same idea, just 2 green on each side. And then the US says, you know what? We're going to do this too, and we're just going to blow it the fuck out of the water. And they had a rainbow pop up from the beginning and just slowly reach back. There's a video online if you can find it. Obviously it wasn't supposed to be recorded, but it's something incredible. The amount of
the official Love Live Twitter account, I want to say, posted
it has a picture,
an official photo if you want to see that. It's a good, pretty damn good photo of that.
It's incredible that they managed to do that, because there's Love Live fans don't have the best image. It's a bunch of ragtag kids. Like, it's mostly kids. And
I would say in Japan probably more than the U.S. I think the U.S. Love Live fandom has not made a fool of itself yet.
Well,
but
I mean,
this is a
they're always rowdy, but this was especially
a pretty good argument in the other way.
Yeah,
for them.
This was especially the fact that not everybody here is connected. Several months ago they set out a project to do this rainbow, and I saw it on Twitter pretty often. I was just like, oh, that's crazy. There's no way in hell this will happen. And then they did, and none of the voice actresses knew it was going to happen. None of the idols. So ohnoanime was like in the middle of saying something, and you hear her voice just falter a little bit, and her eyes like start to sparkle and tear up as she realized what was going on, and then the other 8 realized what's going on, and that was like all they talked about during MCs for the rest of the show. And there was a palpable difference, because when the fans get together to put something like that for the girls, there's no way it could be checking a box on a list anymore. And I think any lives they have here going forward are going to feel very, very different. It was something really cool to see.
Well, and it's crazy too, because they're literally in the middle of a massive tour and flew to the U.S. and are having like less than 24-hour breaks on either side of it. It's crazy their schedule that they're doing.
The show was a little over 12 hours ago, or 24 hours ago, excuse me, and they're already gone.
I'm glad that they had something happen that made it worth it to them, because honestly, I would not be surprised if they were feeling a little fucking burnt out.
I would have
by having to fly all the way here.
There was even like a mini Twitter debate. It was a dumb one about saying boycott the thing because people were worried about how tired they would be. It's their job. They're fine. Yeah. But it was still nuts, and I'm glad that they got to see that, and I'm super glad that they were able to pull it off. It was just like a perfect grassroots effort of retweeting, reblogging, and handing out an obnoxious amount of flyers outside of the venue.
I honestly have never seen something like that in the U.S. anime fandom that was that meticulously planned, but riding so much on random people actually following through on something that they had no knowledge of before entering the show. I mean, that's just
it's a specific point in a specific song too.
Yeah,
like a lot had to go right for that to happen.
Yeah, well,
they did.
So, like someone on Twitter said, that is what world peace looks like.
For real. Like that's like it. It was something. It was something else. So I did that, and then I went to the after party, which was a bunch of kusoyakai, a bunch of people chanting things that you aren't supposed to because they're loud and obnoxious, get together and rent out a place so they can do it in peace. And it's just a big, huge party, and that was a lot of fun.
Cool. Well, today also was another day that didn't really have a whole lot going on. I ended up going to a lot more than I thought I was going to, mostly because the dealer hall was completely unmanageable when we tried to go in there today, and so I was looking for a place to sit down, and what I ended up sitting down was the Crunchyroll panel. They had their industry panel today, and they announced some stuff. Weirdly enough, all the announcements that they made were for fall simulcast shows. They didn't talk about summer at all. I don't know if they're just done announcing shows for summer or whatever, but yeah. So we got some fall announcements. They licensed a show called Music Girls, which is something that sounds like you would know about better than me.
I don't. Man, I haven't even looked through all the summer shows yet.
Yeah, some of these are ones that I have definitely
Music Girl sounds interesting.
Heard of at least. They are doing a co-production called Re-Rided or Re-Ride D. It's a really bad name. It's one of the worst anime names. They licensed a show called Radiant, which is adapted from a French comic and is being animated by Lerche. Yeah. Probably the biggest one on here is that they announced that they've already licensed the newest anime from the Tiger and Bunny creator in Sunrise, Double Decker.
I haven't heard anything about that, but Tiger and Bunny was fucking great.
It looks like it is apparently the spiritual sequel to Tiger and Bunny.
Good. We could use more.
Yeah. They also
it will be as gay, because that was a big part.
It looked pretty gay.
It looked pretty gay.
It looked like, honestly, it looked like the Baccano to Tiger and Bunny's Durarara. Like, it literally looks like a neo-noir type thing.
I can deal with it.
They also licensed a show called Rise of the Shield Hero, which people seemed really excited about.
Yeah, that's one of the more popular light novels that's out right now. J Novel Club picked it up, and I think there's a print version as well.
People seem really excited about that today.
I've heard good things.
The last show that they licensed for fall is maybe one of the best titles I've ever heard. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime.
That is another very popular light novel.
That looked very good.
I've heard.
I'm excited for that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They announced that that's 2 cores, didn't they?
They did, and that
Yeah.
was in the PV that they showed.
2-core fantasy shows are what I live for. So
Yes, 2-core anything in 2018 is what I live for. But and then right after that, we unfortunately sat through the Viz Media panel. Not a whole lot to talk about there. The only 2 actual announcements they had were that they licensed Megalobox for home video release. Who knows what the fuck that is going to be or when? That literally is so soon after that.
Till then, watch it on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to end up just saying watch it on Crunchyroll, period. But and then they are releasing a new Junji Ito short story collection called Smashed. This is basically in the same thing that they did this year with Shiver. The most exciting thing about that, though, and probably the only exciting thing that I actually heard this panel, is that he actually apparently has adapted several H.P. Lovecraft stories that will be appearing
That's cool.
in that short story collection. Yeah, I mean, new Junji Ito is always great, and Viz always does a really good job with releasing Junji Ito over here. Why they have not announced Junji Ito's Almost Human adaptation or No Longer Human adaptation, I will never know.
There's always a reason.
Yeah. Anyways, so that is all the industry stuff that I did today.
Yeah,
which is depressing.
I didn't do any. While you were deciding that the exhibit hall was not something you could deal with, I was in line at Faku for 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, being
Great booth, by the way.
being in line at Faku for 2 hours is preferable to having to fucking walk
I had a
around
good time.
that hall. There are multiple instances where it got so bad that like people from the booths had to like come out and like clear traffic because it was like a legit fire hazard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have
Anyways,
too much trouble in it after that, but it had probably cleared out quite a bit.
you want to
I
talk
was
about a
not
thing
until,
that
like,
is
noon.
good? Let's
was
talk
that?
about what we just did.
8? I just ate.
No,
That was
what we
great.
did before that.
Oh,
the big thing.
Took a lift.
We sat through
I'm sorry.
a 6-hour, basically music festival.
That's what it felt like.
It was legitimately a music festival. It was not a concert. Otaquest Live is a thing that happened. Background on this, Otaquest is basically a thing that I found out tonight was started by Taku Takahashi and one other guy.
He started a little bit after he did Block FM, I think, because Block FM started getting a lot of foreign guests, and he was
Otaquest
just like, I
is
can do
basically
this.
just a Western aiming anime-centric multimedia organization that also concentrates a lot on music, concentrate a lot on basically like everything that, basically everything that people at Anime Expo are interested in and around the anime and greater like J-pop and Japanese music scene. That's kind of what Otaquest focuses on, and they did this fucking crazy thing where m-flo headlined a show for the first and maybe only time in the United States.
They said it was the first time. Hopefully not.
It was
the only.
definitely their first time as m-flo. Taku obviously has played here a million times, but I don't think Verbal or Lisa have ever been over here to play. And so it was a huge fucking lineup of artists. I'm just going to go down the line and name them all because we just saw them. Hachioji P, who is mostly a Miku producer.
Yep. He didn't even play his big one that I like, Electric Girl. I'm pretty sure that was Hachioji P.
Yeah. Yushie or Yushi. I don't actually know how to pronounce her name that well. But
the Japanese says Yushie.
Yushie, I'm going to start naming these out of order probably. Masayoshi Mori from Trekkie Tracks. I'm going to totally name these out of order. Crystal K, PKC's, which is Verbal's like side project, like EDM based hip hop side project.
Yeah.
It was strange.
Very. They did play Sandstorm though.
They did. And then Yasutaka Nakata and m-flo and
Crystal K.
And Chris. I thought I said
No,
Crystal K.
I don't think so.
Crystal K. Crystal K was there,
Yes.
obviously. So it was crazy. I'm like trying to organize my thoughts the best I can. Honestly, the second half of the show is way more worth talking about than the first half.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say is that Yushie is an unbelievably consummate performer and is incredibly fucking good at engaging the crowd.
Really good when you hear like future sound like her. I always at least image in my mind the producers being like people behind a computer and mostly shut in, and I wouldn't expect them to be a good entertainer, and she was a fantastic entertainer.
Yeah, Yushie is... She's a great entertainer. She's a great singer. She's incredibly cute, which really helps with her stage presence. She's just really one of the most exciting young electronic artists in Japan nowadays.
I hope she gets bigger and bigger shows, because she said during the show that this was the largest crowd she'd had.
This is not the first time that she's played. This is probably like the 5th or 6th time that she's played over here. So it's mostly been for like Attack the Music events and stuff, because they're the ones that release a lot of her music over here. But she's fucking fantastic. She's always gonna blow up. She's such a joy to hear and see, and her music is it really puts it in perspective when you have her playing for 45 minutes, just how many fucking songs she has, and how many of them are instant sing-along, recognizable, perfect.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah. The first half of the show was good, but basically everything PKCs and before, maybe not so much worth talking about in a short format.
Clear delineation there.
It was fucking insane to see Crystal K live.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That is a person that I never thought that I would ever see live.
She's the single most surprising thing at this Anime Expo is the fact that Crystal K just came and sang a few songs.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird because she's I don't know, she's such a figure separated from like time and place in Japanese culture, because she's just very
riding that R&B train.
Yeah, she's very unique. She has an incredibly unique sound that is very not of this era. But yeah, we got to hear her play Boyfriend Part 2, which is fucking crazy.
That's all any of us wanted out of this.
That was awesome. Then we had Yasutaka Nakata. Yasutaka Nakata is the producer behind Capsule, Kyare Pamu Pamu, and Perfume. Basically the three biggest dance pop groups of all time in Japan. And like outside of fucking like YMO, basically, like he is easily Japan's biggest producer right now. There's not anybody that can
sell out all the time.
His set was unfucking believable. Like that was easily the highlight of the night musically for me.
If I hadn't heard him before, unfucking believable would be about it. I don't know how he brings it every time, and it's always a significantly different set.
I mean, it really puts
into... We forgot Teddy Lloyd.
Oh, we did? Well...
Yeah, Teddy Lloyd.
It's Teddy Lloyd.
Yeah,
Teddy Lloyd played.
Teddy Lloyd had dancers though.
Where he played Teddy Lloyd music.
He sure did,
and you sure know what that sounds like.
Yeah,
it has
did have
Dalco
dancers
in it.
for me though, which was super cool. Yeah, that was neat.
So yeah, it really puts it into stark relief though when you have someone like Nakata playing against a lot of people who are producers first, DJs second. Unfortunately, even Teddy Lloyd is one of those.
Yeah.
Nakata is not one of those. Nakata is an incredibly fucking good DJ. And as a DJ myself, I found myself being continually impressed by the fact that he was able to like mix the sound of a fucking iPhone ringtone into one of the new Perfume songs, Mugen Mirai, and make it sound in key and good. That was fucking nuts. Like, he's so good.
I already scratched my head. That's like he next level.
Yeah, I was also super happy that he played as much Kyare and Perfume as he did, because
he felt the room pretty well.
Yeah, because usually when he does DJ sets, it's mostly Capsule stuff. Because obviously,
especially in Japan, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, because if you're gonna hear someone play Perfume music live in Japan, you might as well just go fucking see Perfume. They're playing all the time. But the fact that he read the room and was like, people definitely want to hear some Ninjari Bang Bang tonight. Yeah. I was like, you're right.
I think it was more like people went crazy for shit that they recognized, and that was it. Everything else they were dead. So he went out there and played Perfume and Kyare.
And that is exactly why you can tell that he was the best DJ up on that stage, because he played exactly what people wanted to hear. And he bumped it. And not only that, his visuals were the only one of the night that were actually synced completely to his set. Yes. And they were fucking amazing.
They were very good.
Was all like every time that he would play a song from one of the groups that he produces and not himself, they would play snippets of the music video, but glitched out to where it was basically just evoking their idea of them and not actually just showing the music video.
It was pretty
awesome.
Which I
thought was really cool. Because like even just like the silhouette of three women, you're like, and you hear a Perfume song, you're like, oh, this is fucking Perfume. Yeah, so he was really good. But anyways, let's talk about the pinnacle of the night, which is basically we got an hour and a half.
We just saw m-flo.
Yeah, like m-flo.
That's still sinking in.
The craziest part about it, so we've been talking a lot about what exactly the m-flo show is going to be beforehand. And the biggest thing for, I think, both of us was that, okay, you don't have Crystal K on a lineup with m-flo and don't bring Crystal K out because she has done so many songs with them. And even Verbal was saying tonight, like, they're family. Like, they came up together. Taku produced your first song. Verbal was on Ex-Boyfriend. Like, it's, it's such a symbiotic relationship. But they went through like half the set and played at least one song with Crystal K in it and didn't bring her out.
Yeah.
And then they fucking brought her out. And I think it was surprising mostly because that set was way longer than I thought it was going to be. I guess.
I'm not saying I was waiting to get out, but we had been in there for
my dogs
6
were
hours
barking
at that
pretty
point.
fucking loud. Yeah, it was so amazing because, you know, like they have changed so much stylistically, all of them, since, you know, 1999. And the set really reflected that. Like most of it was like remixes, like modern remixes of the songs that you would know, which worked really well in a live setting, especially this live setting. But I guess I'm burying the lead here. They brought out Lisa,
They did.
which I did not think was going to happen because
Well, when they teased Crystal K, like somebody
Yeah.
even yelled Lisa, and I was like, well, if they're bringing somebody out now,
but they
Yeah,
waited
Lisa.
until almost 45 minutes into their
Yeah.
set to bring out Lisa, and then proceeded to play basically every just old banger of theirs
was
back to back.
awesome. That was
Lisa
so
being
cool.
there was so fucking cool. They were all wearing the jumpsuits. Like it just felt right.
The one sticking point I have about that upset me is she never put on the glasses.
Yeah, okay,
Taku and
yeah.
Verbal had the
You're right,
glasses.
you're
She
right,
never
you're
put
right.
on the glasses.
I don't know. She might have bad eyesight or something.
Maybe.
Like,
She was
might have been
great.
a
I love
safety hazard.
all of them are fantastic MCs too because they're all fluent in English.
Yeah, they speak perfect English.
Yeah, so it's really fun to have them switch back and forth.
And it was really cool because you could actually tell that was sort of a focus of the event. Every single
Yeah.
person that came on stage that was talking spoke,
they spoke
good enough
English.
English.
Yeah.
I'm actually super surprised that yuc'e can speak English because she's very young
Yeah.
and doesn't seem like doesn't
she
seem
can do
like
it all.
She was. Everybody could speak perfect English, and that's I don't know. It feels good when people make the effort.
It almost like back to what I was saying about Aqua is it feels like it's so often the states feel like them checking off a mark.
Yeah.
And when they come out here and do something in English, it doesn't feel like that anymore.
Yeah.
And the same thing with m-flo when they came here for their tour. They it felt like okay, they're doing it because they're in America, and then they sang one of their first songs rewritten in English, and it's just like oh shit, they actually care.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just such a cool environment for this show because it really felt like just a bunch of friends like putting on a thing.
That's what Otaquest is right now.
Yeah. It was it was super like super janky at times and like they clearly didn't have their shit together completely, but honestly that just like ended up adding to the charm in the end because we got to see like literally the original m-flo lineup plus Crystal K. Like
It boggles the
it's
mind.
fucking crazy. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for day 0 and day 1. Stick around in a day or two for our day 2 wrap-up video. That'll probably be going up on day 3, I would imagine, sometime in the morning. So yeah, it's late.
Yeah.
ohnoanime.moe/AX2018 is the place where you can catch all of everything that we're doing, coverage, videos, everything. You got anything else to say?
No, that's it.
That's going to do it for us.
If this comes up before the end of the convention, come find us. We're around. Say hi.
Yeah, hit us up on Twitter. We'll put you on camera and make you creeped out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do that anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for us. We will see you in
The next video.
the next video, day 2.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.